Hey, it's Dan, and welcome to Unified Gaming. So today, guys, we are going to be streaming the Elder Scrolls Online and looking at subclassing from a PvP perspective. Really making some sort of out there builds, trying to just break the game, really. There's lots of things to go through. There's loads of changes. This is week 4 of the PTS, so what you see in this video will kind of be what hits live in a couple of weeks. So if you copy it, you'd have kind of a working setup. With this one, we do have Jaeger with us today, who's helping out. So a massive thanks to him. And if it does sound like I'm talking to somebody else on Discord, it's because I am. So he can actually hear me, but you won't be able to hear him. I've also made for today as well a class select, as you can see here. So we can spin the wheel. It'll give us like a build theme that we're going to go with. There is also community choice. So if you have an idea of something to make, you can put it in the chat and then we'll do our best to try and create that build. But essentially, Archmage is your max mag sulk. Bow gank is obviously a sniper. Shadow is a melee gank build. Demolisher is a bash build. Cold Snap's the Nightblade ice ganks thing. Explosion is a exclusive where we use elemental explosion to basically one-shot groups of people to bomb at range. Summoner is this pet zoo thing. It's like disgusting. The Infector is obviously a dot build and just other ideas. So we'll also use this throughout the stream. As always, likes, comments are greatly appreciated. And if you get any questions, then just put it down below. We are going to start, though, just showcasing what subclassing is and just one of the builds I've been working on. It's not finished, but it's mostly there. And then Jaeger's also on a subclass build as well. So I'm running a pet zoo. So you'll see that my skill lines are summoning, animal companions, and gravelord. So we basically have as many pets as we can all the time. The main thing with these pets is that they can be hit. So they basically body block for us, which is amazing. And then we just stack proc sets to kill them. So that's kind of the idea. It's loads of health. Do not die type build. You know, 25k resist there, 29k there is pretty decent. So yeah, I think we'll make a start with a duel if you're up for that, Jaeger, and then we can kind of showcase what they do, so people got an idea. Super. So yeah, we are going to basically just try and cheese him down, essentially. He is on a high burst build, so just do factor that in. We are literally just letting the pets do the work there. Go on, little pets. So it's really annoying to fight against this. And he's dead. So you can see that the health bar we have is like obscene. The damage we have is pretty good considering we are just heavy attacking and using blast bones. That is pretty much the combo. So yeah, it's pretty nasty. Combat metrics wise, you can see we're getting hit with like spec bow, oblivion stuff. We are also using Reliquin, which is like obscene. So yeah, some silly stuff going on. We'll do one more and then we'll tweak the build and spin the wheel to see what we can create. You ready, Jaeger? So Jaeger's using a Sorcerer with Curse and Merciless Resolve and all that nasty stuff. Go on, bear. Ah, the bear got him. So yeah, with this much like distraction, he's on a very single target build with Haunting Curse, Bound Armaments, Merciless Resolve, and he can't really hit us easily because we've got so many things in the way, which is quite nice. So for people curious, what are we doing on this one? This is the Summoner build. We are abusing a mechanic between Dragonknight and Reliquin. So you'll see my Reliquin is 685, which is ridiculously high, and when it's buffed, it goes up to 727, which is really, really disgusting. Like it should not be this high. And what's nice is that this can then stack 10 times. So it's 7,000 damage a second, which is a lot of damage for a proc per second. It is like, it's broken in all honesty. And then with this, we can then use Civist, which means we don't need to block because we've got loads of armor and we can just heavy attack, which is great. This gets buffed by the Draga, but the Draga also buffs our light and heavy attacks, so that buffs our damage further. So it's pretty nasty. I'll do one more duel and then we'll switch and see if we can make something new, okay? Oh, the bear's gonna get him, or the blast bones. Oh, almost so close. There you go, all the pets got him. Jaeger just says he wants to put down an armory station quickly, so we can then see one of the other things he's got. What I will show as well, just for people curious, before you change Jaeger, can you just do your burst combo on me? I'll put the pets away, so people can see you actually have damage. It's not me. It's not like he doesn't have a proper build. We just have loads of things in the way. So get rid of that one, get rid of that one. Okay. So I've got a shield on as well. So that's like that's half my health I've gone, and I've got almost 40k health. So when he lands like the curse with a spec bow, it hits ridiculously hard with crushing weapon. So like the damage is there, and we just have so much health that we could buffer it, and the pets just get in the way to stop that from hitting us normally, which is quite nice. So I'm going to spin the wheel. Any questions though about builds, just put in the chat, and we'll see what we can create today. That's the plan. So we're going to have a look at the Infector. So, okay, we'll have a go with this. We'll remove that as well. So the Infector is a dot-based build, which is quite cool. I really like this. It's a Warden originally. So we'll turn off the animation, and then we'll go down that route. Just for people curious, so here is a superstar for this before we change. So, you know, screenshot if you want, and then we'll switch over. Did you want to test your other one, Jaeger, on that silk? Or yeah, okay, we can just do one quick test quickly with Jaeger just on his other spec, and then we'll switch to that Infector build. So all the add-on bugs, so many bugs with add-ons. I'm going to put my pets out this time, just so you are aware. Oh, he's got snakes and stars and master lock. Ah, you had a lot of cheese going on there, I'm not gonna lie. If you want to see my combat metrics, look at what he was using against me. So you've got Thriving Chaos, you've got Wrath of Elements, so that is Fate. He's got Master Lock going on, he had Snake in the Star somewhere, there it is. He had like loads of proc sets. That was disgusting, I'm not gonna lie, that was horrible. But do you want to do one more and then we'll switch? So you can see even against like broken builds like that, it does okay. Like we can hold our own considering. Can we get a heal off? Go on, Mr. Twilight. Heal me, Twilight. Ah, Blastbone's got him. I love Blastbones. So yeah, we're literally, if you saw, we're just jumping around hiding behind the pets and letting all the procs do the work and the pets. So yeah, that's kind of what subclassing can do. So we're going to switch now, go on over to character creation and make a dot Infector build. And I've got a really cool idea with this. Hey, you're right, Almighty. Yeah, Jaeger said we ate a lot of damage. He had so many procs. It was like horrible. So what I'm going to do for this one, when you create your character, one of the things you factor in is the base class. So I'll show this quickly on, say, I'll go back onto the Sorcerer and just show for one moment that your class affects your script. So if you're on a Sorcerer, for example, your class mastery and subclassing is really, really, really strong. So that does really like need factoring in, because if you are going to go for like a 3 sort of class setup, you want to pick one like the base class to have the best subclass script. So for example, the Sorcerer class mastery has bonus shock damage. This is fantastic for gank builds, which means if you're going to be something using Nightblade and stealth, being a Sorcerer gives you the most amount of damage because of this. This becomes the best spammable. So with that in mind, just factor in that what class mastery plays to your strength. For what I want to do, I am considering 2 things, either a DK or a Warden. The DK mastery gives you loads of damage and resistance, which is really good. The Warden gives you a stun and like a resource sustain. So I'm probably going to lean for... Let's try DK this time, because I've got a melee idea as well. So if people joined us, we're going to make a melee stroke range dot build. So we go Infector. And then we're going to go with a Dark Elf, because that's like the best hybrid race for this. And then we're good to go, okay? Okay, so we are on a Dark Elf DK. And I'm going to quickly set up the subclassing for this, nice and fast. And so my thinking is to use a bit of Arcanist, which I know sounds a bit weird. But I was talking in chat and in my Discord the other day. Arcanist, in all honesty, is like one of the strongest skill lines. Like the Herald of the Tome is ridiculously busted if you build into it properly. And a lot of people like I've spoken to were focusing mainly on the beam, which is what we don't want. The beam's not good for what we do. So I'll show you in a second why we're going to use Herald of the Tome and why it's such a strong skill line. So we're just going to pick, swap one of these out. We can go to Arcanist, get Herald of the Tome, get rid of our Earthen Heart. We don't really need that. And then we'll then speak to the woman, complete the quest. And now we're good to go. We're then going to go over to our house, which I always forget where it is. I'll travel to Jaeger because he's at my house. So yeah, the Arcanist has a skill called Inspired Scholarship, or Expert Tree Ties. And the reason why this is a really strong skill is because of the passives with the class and the fact it auto-procs. I'll put all of these on. There we go. What I'm also going to do, just add on top of the screen quickly, a image, just so people can see the class we're trying to work on. So then if you watch this in the future, you kind of know, oh, we were working on X class. This is one we're aiming for, the Infector. So I'm going to leave this just in the corner here, and we'll change this as we go through. Maybe in the center, there we go. So yeah, so we want to make a dot build, and the idea is that we want to hit people with as many dots as we can, and make it really hard for them to stay alive. So one of the reasons we're going to use Herald of the Tome is because of the Expert Tree Ties, but also the passives. You get a lot of bonus crit damage and also status effect damage, which again plays really nicely into this idea of trying to like dot people down. So I would always recommend when you do subclassing, focus on the playstyle before you pick the sets. Get the skilled lines, get the place sorted, then build the sets around that, because you lose so many things when you start to mess around with this. So we're going to focus on this skill here, and we're going to go for recuperative treatise. This is the one you have to use if you do this kind of playstyle. So the reason we use this is every 5 seconds it procs this effect, which is like 3k roughly, and it gives you resources back. When it procs the resource return, it procs the harness quintessence, which is weapon and spell damage, so it's just 3 damage. You don't get this if you don't have this proccing, or you have like an absorb glyph. So if you have this basically has 100% uptime, so it's great. You also generate crux, which gives you bonus crit damage and crit healing. So again, really, really nice passive. Again, this is automatically proccing this for free. So this is turned on for free, this is turned on for free. The psychic liaison gives you, again, more just status effect damage, which is great for what we're trying to do. And the splintered secrets gives us more penetration if we have this on the front bar. You don't have to use this, but this is a really good set of just skills for free. Like just loads of bonus damage, and this is our damage buff too, so it's really, really nice. I'm going to also lean into some other range dots, because we're going to try a range dot build first, and go with the Warden subclass with this. Because the Warden has one of the best range dots in the game with the Animal Companion skill line. The question is, if we drop this, what do we lose? We could go with melee dots, which are really nasty. We could go with... we lose our burst heal. I'm going to try dropping this for a second to Draconic power and just see what we need to build around. Because you've got Swarm, which is like horrible. Vector Infection is a disgusting dot. It's really good. You get ult, you get more recovery, and you get more crit damage. You also get your movement skill, which we can put on our front bar. We're going to Bird of Prey here. We're going to Vector Infection here. Because of this, we don't have to use Degeneration, so we can use Structured Entropy, which gives us a heal over time, which is like Vigor basically. This is essentially Vigor. It's really good. We will want Vigor as well because of our lack of healing. We want to build into the DKs, the Arcanists have the susceptibility for the extra dots. They're really nice. And the back bar with the status effects, they're going to do loads of damage for us. We can then use Reach for another dot on the front bar, which is nice. So looking at what we're missing already, and this is the thing you'll notice with subclassing, it's very quickly to run out of buffs. So we don't have any armor buff at the moment, which is a problem. And we don't have like any kind of delayed burst. I'm going to try and put on some melee dots with this just to see how it feels, because you always get into melee anyway. Venom Claw is ridiculously strong. And Noxious Breath is great. That got a buff. That also applies poisoned. So we then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is like 9. This is 10. So we basically have 10 dots already, which is like horrible. Plus the heavy attack on the Destruction Staff. So I'm going to add in some subclass and I'm going to use a monster set, which I've already found like a bug or like an issue with the build. We don't have major resolve, so we can fix that with Mighty Student. So going down the route of this skills first gives you freedom to pick the sets to fix the gaps. So we're going to go with heavy helmet and medium shoulder. That's going to be Impen. This is going to be reinforced. So then this is one way to fix that instantly. So now we've got our armor buff, which is really needed in PvP. We've got minor resolve here. So we've got major and minor resolve built in. So we've got pretty good defense now, 25k. With defending, that's going to be like almost 30. So that's awesome. We then need a burst heal. So I'm going to use Scribing for that because I don't have any good burst heal access. And if you get any suggestions of what we could like tweak or add, feel free to like put in chat. That's all the scripts unlocked. I'm going to reload UI, get rid of that. And yeah, you go. If you get any ideas yourself about what we could do to tweak the build, you're more than welcome to obviously shout as such. So we've got this proc and this proc and this proc in. We need that burst still, so let's get the script going. And the reason I chose DK, which is because of the class mastery, it's really strong. So for each enemy within 8 meters, you gain up to 6. You gain 50 weapon and spell damage. Plus, it reduces your damage taken by 2%. Plus 1% for every enemy for 5 seconds. So this is like loads of defense, loads of damage. It's really, really strong. It's a really good one. If we use this as an ultimate, as a burst heal, when we cast this, we just get loads of defense because we're going to use this when we're low on health, which basically means it's going to give us extra defense, which you don't normally get from this here. And then we can go for vitality to give us that really big burst heal. So we're going to slot that here on the back bar. And let's get our soul magic, healing soul. I'm going to move over susceptibility to the front bar, I think. Or actually, let's move over tree ties. And this is where you have to look at passives, because tree ties procs the splintered secrets, which is penetration, if it's on the bar. If we put this here, we now have more penetration on the front bar because of that change. We are going to use probably the unblinking eye. Because again, that's another lot of penetration there, so another 1200 pen, which is really good damage. You could use Dawnbreaker if you want instead, for like weapon and spell damage, but pen is better typically. We don't have a defensive ult that's decent. So the options are barrier, which is not bad, is okay. You could use temporal guard for minor protection, that's pretty decent too. So we'll put this on as like a buffer and we'll see what we can put there. So I'm going to do a very quick check now. Do we have what we need? We've got heal over time, burst heal, armor already on. We've got loads of damage, just dots, which is what we're trying to do in this build. The one thing I'm going to put on instantly is Wretched Vitality. We are going to run out of sustain really fast. So that's a crafted set we will need. Let's go with crafted sets. It's a DLC. The Deadlands? Deadlands had like loads of good stuff. Yeah, Deadlands had really good sets, that patch. We're going to go with jewelry and heavy chest, medium legs. So there's our heavy chest. Weapons back bar. We could afford sword and shield. That is definitely an option. So I'm going to put that here as a stopgap, but I might change it to a restoration staff for powered. Just because to get that healing power, that might be quite useful. So you'll see that some of the staple sets are still going to be really good because they're good sets. Like, you're going to still run them. I'm going to go with a light sash for the moment. So this will be, we need one more piece. And then I'll probably go medium legs. Then if you don't mind, yeah, if I can duel you just to get an idea of like where the weakness is, I think it's going to be sustain, personally. So like I know obviously the build isn't finished, but this is what I'm like, it helps you kind of get an idea of where the problem is. I think the damage will be okay. Do you have CP on yours or not? Are you able to just take the slottables off? If that's all right. We're going to grab this stuff here. We'll need that in a moment. We'll probably need some regen in a moment is my feeling. I could be completely wrong on this. And I'm going to put on Clockwork, Citrus Fillet or Jewels of Mistral. They're like good ones there. We'll try with Jewels first as a stopgap. I'm going to put on my Munderstone for the Lover. This will just give me an idea. Like, I know we're going to be squishy. I'm fully expecting that. Is this an Inferno? Yes, it is. Let me just grab a Inferno here that's gold at least. So what I'd like to do, yeah, you go, is just get the dots on you just to see what the damage is. Because the other set we're using is like awful. You'll see down here. Yeah, if you could just for the moment, just so I get an idea of kind of where we are, okay? So what's nice with this? Yeah, if you've got roll dodge. Because now I can see kind of where the issue is. So my interesting thing is I want it spammable of some kind. I wonder why I've used Noxious Breath. And obviously I'm not putting on the other thing yet. These are just these dots here ticking. Yeah, so I think I want to get a stun somewhere. The damage does do a fair bit. You're right to fight back and I just want to see if I can stay alive. As long as I can. I probably will die quite quick. Okay? Yeah, so the healing is not too bad considering I'm missing set. So this gives us a rough idea of what we're lacking. I need to move the elemental susceptibility over. So that needs to move to the front bar. Obviously I've got a spare skill slot which I'm leaving here. We need a stun of some kind. So what we can do, and I did this before, you can go to Scribing. Scribing has a really good stun. It's a shield throw. So I think it was called knockback. This is really annoying to fight against, like really, really annoying. I'm making it a bash. Just seeing if there's any good major. Major evasion was nice. And we'll put that on, that's not going to hurt to have that. We're going to use this as a pseudo stun just to see how it feels. We get some tri potions too because that's quite helpful to have. So what I'm doing before I commit my second set, I'm just getting a rough feel for like what's lacking in the build. If that makes sense. And then I need to decide is do I want a spammable? Because I could use whip. Like this is nice. I could use the grip as a ability to like stun them instead. Or I could use Inferno. And if I use Flames of Oblivion, that's still pretty decent spammable. Like it hits pretty hard and it's also crit chance. So that is an option there. Do you want to try again, Jaeger? And we'll see, all I've done is just change a few skills around. Yeah, if you can, and then we'll see how that feels, okay? Yeah, so I think I needed that stun. I missed the old one from... do you want to fight back? And then I'll let you heal up first, okay? You good to go, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. Or, see, Marslock might be a nice product. That hit me really hard, that did. Marslock. But then I lose my armor buff. So what we'll do, I know we're using Divine, so that's going to not help our defense at all, we know that. No. My health will be about 30k fully buffed. So we need shooting because we need the armor buff. We need the sustain from Wretched. I'm probably going to put on Death Dealers because we do need a bit more max resource. Death Dealers is an easy way to get that. And because we're on a dot build, we're going to be in combat a long time. Is kind of my thinking behind it. Is that Deadlands as well? No, it's not. So Deadlands had really good stuff. Do you mean put the glyphs on? Sorry.
Yeah. No.
There's Death Dealers. Yeah, the reason they're not on the armor at the moment is just because we have random stuff. I'll put some on here now, so I'll get some. I'm going to keep Wretched. I think that is needed for this. We need the sustain. Let me go for triglyphs here. So then what I am wondering whether we have enough damage. Sounds a bit silly. So let me try this. I've got an idea for my second set. I will need to move the things around there quite heavily. And like swap the weights around almost, but I think this would work. So we are going to be a bit more squishier than we would normally be. But I want us to just see if it's enough of a damage boost. So we're going to try Dragonkin's Grip. Because it sounds silly, but because of how many sources of damage we have, Dragonkin becomes really powerful the more you stack it. So every source of damage you have, Dragonkin applies to. Which then becomes a very, very strong set. So we need 2 of those. And what's nice with Dragonkin is you can front bar it and just turn it on as we need, so we don't get that penalty. Inferno Staff. We got there 2. Switch to front bar, that should be 4. 5 now, there you go. What's Wretched looking like on the back bar? So that needs to be Wretched. Hands. Just need to get some Wretched hands. Bear with me 1 sec, sorry. So what we're trying to do is make a dot build at range with the options going to melee and still be pretty decent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that's on. That's off. So we can get 1 trainee on here as well, which that could be our chest. I will try this, and then we'll see how it feels. Obviously, I don't have any CP in. And I just want to see the damage boost of how much, how noticeable is it. And what I'm trying to create with these builds for people curious is setups that are kind of, you could run. Like, you know, I could run like really cheesy dual specs, but they're not viable in like most content that people actually use them in. I am considering dropping entropy though for... let me do this actually. that's going to go... That should be on this bar, really, because it's easier to use. It's going to go there. So I'm just moving some skills around. Just that's going to go there. George says netch over entropy. The reason we're using the netch is not netch, sorry, entropy is this is the heal one. Because we have recuperative tree ties, this is essentially like Betty netch. So this gives us our damage buff and it gives us sustain, so it's like the same sustain. You could use Betty instead, but this procs 3 damage with all of our dots. So that's why we're using this. I'm ready to try this next one, okay? Yeah, you go. And obviously with the health, we would push the health up to like 30k. And you see all my traits are like all divines, so I would like change these. Right. Can I just do a first check on just what is like the dot damage like? Yeah, if you go defense for the moment, I just want to see how much the dots do once they're all on you. And then obviously I've got a spam ball now. Okay, yeah, that's some good damage. Yeah, so the sustain you can see is a bit low, so I need to use the Atronach Mundus. I need the regen to be able to spam that. But this is like what I was thinking. Draga did make the damage a lot higher though, didn't it? Like the damage went way... As soon as you got the dots on you, obviously you got a massive shield as well. Let's put my double dot poisons now, because that's what should... He's got a 13,000 shield, he's just said. So that's quite a big shield. Okay, so we also got poisons as well now. Yay. Right. This time, do you want to fight back? And then we'll like go from there, okay? Yeah. Yeah, that dot, as soon as the dot damage is on, is not nice. That's like quite horrible. I want a Inferno back bar though. I'm going to change that to a lightning staff. So we want a lightning staff there. We want a wretched Inferno on the back bar. The reason I'm going to use the Inferno on the back bar is because it's easier to heavy attack and then skill. So that way you get the 2 dots straight away. You're not having to mess around, like, because it felt really clunky, if that makes sense. And like these are like the small tweaks that you should do. So when we did this, we started first with one set and the skill lines, and then we've just refined the other stuff around what we're trying to do. Let's go to weapon glyphs. And then we need to change all these to like defensive ones. Maybe some infused as well, and switch the health round. Alright, you ready? Oh, I forget you have that, don't you? Oh, that was a burst. That was really big. Because I think it was Curse went off right at the end, got me. Yeah, I spent a lot of time... I might use chains, actually, to pull you to me rather than the bird. Taunting them, hitting them, major explosion. If they can't be pulled, you restore your... Yeah, that's like, this is just basic freeze done. Okay, that might be quite good to use. Alright, you ready? I went for the burst heal. It's really interesting though not having burst. Like, it's a really weird way to play. Because you're so mobile, it's... I need to push the health up, I think. Because I need like a bit more bulk to be able to survive the onslaught. Because from range, the damage is there. As soon as you get the damage on you, it's horrible. And obviously you've got a big shield too. Dead. Yeah. So once the damage is up, it's horrible. For people curious, we're doing essentially 4,300 damage every second to him, like consistently, which is a lot of damage per second to take in. It feels like yours is like a proper counter to what I have, if that makes sense. Ah, the frag. Was that frag? What's it, curse? That was curse that got me. That dot on the jewel was really nice. Thriving Chaos. That was really... I'm going to change my attributes when I actually do the rest of my glyphs and my armor now to put on the right... I think we've got the right sets. You have just the like gold CP in there, or did you reset it all, by the way? With the CP, you had the... you took the sloth balls out, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, you still got the, obviously, the yellow ones though, yeah? Yeah, that's fine. I'm going for some more regen. I want more sustain. It sounds like I'm going to try triple sustain, because on a dot build, having that little bit extra of damage isn't really worth it, because you have to spam so many skills. Like, it's no, we've got 3k mag recovery now, which is quite a lot, I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of mag recovery. We're going to sort out our glyphs to, our traits on our armor. So let's actually get some defense going now. Now you could swap Dragonknight if you wanted for something like Oblivion's Foe, which is quite good. You'd have to put on the soul trap. But that is worth considering. I'll put this at impen. We could make this heavy armor and go with reinforced for more flat resist. Let's get one trainee too, actually, while we're here. We'll get trainee legs. Armor. Overland. Armor of trainee. You're on a range sulk now, like a normal mag sulk. Yeah, just changing that health, just giving us like loads more health now. I'm just putting these yellow ones just so they're like equitable. You've got the yellow ones, haven't you? But not the blue ones, right? Yeah. Because obviously some of them actually make a difference, like 700 weapon penetrations, like 1% damage boost. So I'll put on this like the yellow ones just because it keeps it parity with see what you have. But I won't put any slossables in. Pardon my ping. I'm not sure. I will have a look in a second. Sorry. Right, so I think we're getting to like a working point with the build. So I almost dropped my controller. My latency is 164. So you want a ranged stand build, yeah? Oh, you got stunned. Was it you using? Oh, you got silvers on. Silvers is nasty. Yeah, silvers and tarnished. I do wonder whether I like the idea of the DK ones, but I don't think they're that useful. The chains is nice. I like the chains, but I wonder whether the Templar Power of the Light skill line Dawn's Rifle will be better. I remember the Templar script used to be really good, didn't it? Did they ever nerf it though? 1 sec. Yeah, if you don't mind. Just pulling up quickly the Templar one. It used to be really, really strong. 5 seconds gain armor, 150 weapons per damage. Okay, and what gives Sacred Ground? So I'm just looking at the class master. I wonder whether a Templar would be better for this. We'll have to fight and then we can check after, okay? Are you ready? My burst still needs to be on the button there. I have to burst on the wrong. I keep pushing Vigor instead of my burst still because it's on the wrong bar. It makes a big difference. Let me just swap that around quickly. Do you know? I don't know if you do the same, but I often put my like key skills in the same spot. So like my burst is always on Y. If you look at any of my build videos, it's Y. Right. Tried pulling you a few times. Can pull you. We've changed a few times, didn't pull. Well, you're using crushing weapon, aren't you? I think I'm going to drop chains. It doesn't feel reliable enough. Because of the range, sounds silly, but the range being so low. Like, it's nice. But I think I preferred the Cliff Racer because it actually hit harder. If that makes sense. I would have to drop my burst when I don't have a burst still. This is where you get the issues with this system. Cursing me for 9k. Yeah, silvers is very good. Oh, it used to be really broken, like because of the double bug. Yeah. I think I need to put on I need some kind of defensive reflect, because I think range-wise, you spend so much time getting the dots on. So like it sounds. See, like by the time you get your shield off, because your shield's so big, you basically have 40,000 health, which is obviously really high. He's at 14,000 on his shield. Because you can't dodge silvers. There's definitely some lag, because I've tried medium weaving twice for you. It's not fired each. It's me being. I need to change the Inferno for Cliff Razor. That was my mistake. Again, why is not medium weaving? Because you normally weave Cliff Racer with an Inferno and get the stun, but you can't do that with a lightning staff. You have to use Inferno for that, or an ice. That was my mistake. Do it on the back bar for now. Yeah, definitely some delay there. Yeah, silver sits very hard. I just think how much I can spam heals. So with heal spam, I can like survive enough to be able to kite if I needed to. I'd have to obviously move like in a real fight. I feel like these are so good dots. These are such good dots. I'll play this more like a DK rather than that range, and just see how much of a difference it makes. Because I'm trying to keep you at a distance, which isn't. A lot of my dot damage comes from being up front. I pushed my heal a couple of times, it has not fired. Yeah, I know, but it's just. I just wonder whether the auto procs are better than the skills, which is really sad. I was hoping like a ranged dot build would definitely. Like the damage feels really high. Like for the damage per second, when I'm getting like 4,000 damage in you a second, it's a lot of damage. And obviously I know like you're on a like Sork and Templar are like the worst against this because of the big shield Sork has, which is like massive, and Templar's got cleanse, so like both are like really hard against a dot build because you have like essentially so much healing power or cleansing power. Robert says, how are the full dot builds in PvP? That's kind of what we're trying with. Oh, that's a big spec bow. Definitely feels like burst still was king. If that makes sense, because my dots can tick and hit you, but when you have like a 15k, well, that was a 12k spec bow then. When you got a 12k spec bow, that just seems to do way more impact than all the dots stacked. Which is really sad, because I love dot builds. Yeah, like curse 8-7, so curse with like spec bow is. I don't think crow's worth it though. I still think you have the same issues with dots, which means I have to go way more defensive. Me go lover. Alright, good go. Yeah, that mask looks. Whew. Yeah, it just feels like you spend so much time trying to get all this many dots on. At which point, so I wonder if less is more. If that makes sense. So let's change some of the skills. As you put on some like actual damage skills. So you can drop that because that's not helping us at all. Let's go with consuming trap. Put that there. We'll try this. I've changed 2 skills around, okay? Yeah, it's the passive damage that you have, like with the Haunting Curse. Jim says, which house are you dueling in? This is one of the new ones. I feel like the burst is still the better way to build, even like with subclassing. Because I can't dodge your curse. Like, that's undodgeable. Yeah, you need the burst. That's what I'm wondering about using Templar instead of the DK line. Is that stun? That stun is absolutely disgusting. Snake in the Stars 5,800, Master at 5k. There's literally 11,000 of my health. That was a third of my health for the procs. I don't feel like we need a more reliable stun. Let's try Dawnbreaker. One second. Let me try that one, okay? So yeah, I think that's the right move. Oh, that would have killed you. You would have died as well. Because he had all the dots and you were stunned, and then your curse killed me. Yeah, I need a more reliable stun, I think. I think that's kind of because your streak is so reliable for getting damage off that you can use it to then sink. So I can put on vampirism, which I might do for more mitigation. I need some. I did swap bar and push heal. It just. Yeah, I think what I've seen very quickly is that leaning into dots is really, really hard because of just the time it takes to get them up. Like for context, we are running 1, 2, 3. That's essentially dot 4, 5, 6, 7 dots with double dot poisons. So we have a lot of dot damage going on. Can I put CP in? And I want to try it with CP to see how much of a difference it makes. And obviously, if you want to put your CP in as well.
Switch.
It does make you realise how strong the Salt skill kit is. Because like, a lot of your damage comes from actually all the Salt stuff. If that makes sense. Like, your curse is hitting really hard. Your bound armour's hitting really, really hard. What we'll do in a sec, though, once we've done this, is I'll spin the wheel and see what other things we can create. But like, this has been really useful to kind of get an idea. You always pre-buff with your shield as well, so it's freaking massive at the start of the duel. There's a bit of blast pains going on. A snake in the stars, unleash terror. The damage felt better though with the dots, obviously with the CP, ironically, that makes sense. When you duel at the start, are you not able to put your shield on until the battle starts? It sounds silly, but it doesn't scale the shield down. So what happens is your shield's double the strength at the start, which wouldn't be in any like normal fight, if that makes sense. I tried swapping bar. Let's swap bar. Yeah, I think I got a bit too much sustain. It feels like you need to build a balance of burst and procs, burst and dots, rather than just pure dot. If that makes sense. What I do after is I'll jump onto my normal Sulk, yeah? Just so you can obviously fight that, so you can see obviously what the difference is like. That's gonna hit freaking hard. I did tell, but I didn't swap bar. The vampire spammable is good. The damage received. Yeah, your rough elements is just constantly ticking away. So is your star venom. That's annoying. That is. Star venom is really annoying. You got master lock. Yeah, I think I need to put more proc sets for damage, if that makes sense. Well, that was close. I feel like that's a very good dual spec because of the amount of procs that you have. It's got the snakes and the stars to stop the healing. It's got the mask for, again, really nasty, like one of the best monster sets you can get for DPS. But the high mobility of Assault. I tried pushing my heal. Yeah, snake and the stars 4/6, mask locks 3k. It's 7,000 damage. That is like consistently about a third of my health it is. Whereas obviously I don't have any of that bonus damage, if that makes sense. So we are going to have to drop, I think, Dragonknight and run something else, which is, I was really hoping that we could get away without having to stack all the procs. There was some lag there. Yeah, mask lock again, 6k. I'll switch to my normal build, just so I want to see what that's like against a standard build for like live, if that makes sense. Just to get an idea. Because it feels like you're able to stack 2 burst skills, which is so much more damage than normal. And I think the dot build, my feeling is that if it was against a different class, it'll probably have more success, if that makes sense. But you can't pick the other classes you fight. I fully get that. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, I travel to myself. So if people have joined, what we're doing is we are looking at can we break PvP with subclassing. So we've tried a pure dot build, and the damage is decent, in all honesty, but the survivability is really hard. And if you want to like have better damage, you do need to embrace procs significantly, which is a bit frustrating. Benzel said, "Can I join?" Yep. If you message me in game, so if you do whisper at Unified Gaming like that. Obviously, take away the dot, and then yeah, you're welcome to join. So this is a typical Magsork. So I'd be curious to see what the damage is like. Yeah, you can really see the survivability is like way higher. I feel like burst builds are going to shine this patch. Yeah, my shield is 20,000. It's obscene. It is obscene how big the shield is. So yeah, I'll spin the wheel whilst Jaeger's doing that. So let me put that up. Should appear. And then I will remove the Infector, because we've had a little play with that, we have. Oh, look at that Archmage. Oh, that's kind of good timing on the Sulk. So the Archmage, which is what I want to then you, so that's going to be this one here. Boop. So we're going to focus on testing this now. I'll turn that off. There we go. Without looking somewhat like professional. Oh. Yeah, so what we're going to do is basically see, can we make a better Magsork than what is live? And more importantly, can I get, like, how high can we get our magicka pool? Because there's some really cool stuff with Nightblade you can do. Dead. Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yo, that was...
I'm pretty. My burst combo is pretty decent. I don't have a message in game, Benzel, unless you put it in chat. Yeah, the shield is insane. Mine's 20,700. Yeah. If you go into PvP, before you attack it, if you look at it in PvP, it'll be about 7k, I reckon, 7k. What's your tooltip now? Because it will change. Battle spirits.
7.5.
Mine's 12,700. Oh, and push straight then. Yeah, you can still do that. The shield is actually obscene, how big it is. Yeah, so this is a base Sorc. I'm going to switch and like make a new one and see if we make this better. But this gives us a base line, like a benchmark to go from. Ah, that was good. That was a good little duel. For context, I quite like playing Magsork. It's like one of my favourite classes to duel with. It's very good. I felt like the flail wasn't doing that much for you, if that makes sense. Pop. Seems like the wheel is still on the screen. On my screen, it says it's not. You might be right. How funny is that? Apologies. That was a really good duel as well. Cheers for the heads up, Grant. So yeah, we've just done a couple to base line like where the Sork is, yeah? And then we'll go and see if we can make it better. I feel like Sork's gonna probably be left as it is. It's that freaking good. It's a silvers and heavy. Yeah, silvers hits really hard. But that's constantly hitting like 4.5k. It's hitting as much as you're spammable. Well, actually harder than you're spammable. That is a very strong set in it, silvers. Very, very strong set. Pop. I was waiting for the curse to get you with the streak, the frag. Yeah, I'll do one more. Then I want to see, can we make this better? Because I use these skills. I use loads of summoning, so I'm not going to get rid of that. It's maybe storm calling, but streak is so good. I wonder if we can play. Let's try without frag. Because frag is really, really good. I'll do one more and then we'll make a new character. And I'm going to keep a Sork as a base class because it's got the best class script. But I wonder whether we can maybe add in a Nightblade Siphon in for the more max resource. Yeah, I feel Mags look really bad now without that hit on the shield. Dorinio, I disagree. Like, I know I'm probably going to get some flack for this, and I'm going to be in the minority of the community. But this is stupidly broken. Yeah, could you duel me, but just don't fight for a sec? What I just want to show like how strong this actually is. I'm going to let my death dealers proc because that would normally be like a max, okay? So you just need to heal or shield, okay? Now, if you play other games like action RPGs, for example, what you'll see is a lot of people focus rather than on heal or health, focus on effective health. So that's the best way of like viewing shields. It's effective healing. Effective healing is what gives you like that survivability. So it could be you increase your max health with a shield. It could be you use vampire ult. It could be that you do other things to stay alive. So burst heals, for example. The shield, at the moment, this is 13,000. Like this is going to go up and up and up as my resources get higher still. And we are using death dealers. So having essentially a 13,000 burst heal that is consistent every single time, it's a 13,000 heal. It's not going to be lower than that, because that's already reduced by battle spirit, is ridiculously high. If I compare it to any other burst heal in the game, so if I look at the restoration stuff, 9,500, this is equivalent to a burst heal. If it's fully buffed, you might be 11,000. That's going to get reduced by battle spirit by 50%. So that's like 5,000, 6,000. My shield is 13,000. It is double a normal burst heal. It can't crit. Now, it obviously means you can be executed still. But as a result, that alone is huge. Which means you can just spam dark conversions for healing. So yeah, I don't think the nerf is like bad. I think it's fine. We'll do one more, and then what I said, I want to switch and try and tweak it. Do you want to fight back, Jaeger? And we'll do a duel, just a couple baselines, okay? Break free. He's on a Templar. EZ, am I still using Tudor? This is the base one from live. We've just done a couple to get a few ideas of like how it feels, and it's very, very good, I'm not going to lie. Quite interesting seeing the different skills in action, but you can literally just do this as a Sulk. Lich. But this is enough healing power. He's very tanky though, give him that. A lot of passive healing. You can definitely feel when someone has Rallying Cry on, because they take like no crit damage. It feels like that still doesn't have enough burst, even though you can see there's a lot of damage on that guy's build. Yeah. Yeah, Sulk has way too many survival kit tools in its kit. Like you can literally just run around and jump. It takes for like so many stars to align to kill it. Because, you know, in the end, it'll just run around spamming shields. Elf says, with an 18k shield for 5 seconds, you are immortal if you know. Yeah, 100%. Like, he was using Crescent Sweep, Blast Bones, Vampire. So when the Blast Bones would hit with the Crescent Sweep and the Vampire Spammer, it was a lot of burst. Like, really good burst. But just with that much of a shield, it's quite silly. I'm going to change the class quickly. I'm going to quickly set up one. For people curious, this is the setup that we're using. This would be magic. I just didn't get the class script on live. I've got it now. So I'm going to quickly switch over. And I want to try with most likely with a bit of Nightblade. And I think Nightblade has max magicka on one of the passives. Let's delete him. It'll do. And create a new character. Boop, boop, boop. Let's go Sorcerer. Then be the Archmage. So I want to make the Sorcerer better. It's kind of my aim. I'm a Breton on mine, but Dark Elf is like ideal in all honesty. It's really, really good. Or High Elf's great, Breton's great. They're all good. He's asking, do we use Tudor Seal? And the answer is probably yes, in all honesty. So I think we're going to still go down that route because it gives us a bar slot. And Sork's really low for bar space anyway. Al was just saying about Sork being like S tier, and yeah, it's 100%. Like, it's definitely S tier. I think like Sork is... This could probably... I don't want to sound harsh, but in my opinion, I feel it's probably the strongest class currently. It has so many defensive skills to get you out of trouble. Streak, you get stunned, you streak. They're stunned, they can't kill you. You get stunned, you shield, they can't kill you. You get stunned, you roll dodge your shield, they can't kill you. You get stunned, you streak, you roll dodge your heal. Like, you've got so many different combos to bounce back and stay alive that you end up staying alive a lot longer than you probably should, which you can't do in any other class. Right, so what I was thinking with the Nightblade, in I think it's siphoning, you have to get rid of dark magic, is you got one of these here. There's only 6%, but I'm wondering whether that 6% is going to be enough to make our other skills hit that much harder, because we have so much so much base magicka. So that is one option. None of the skills here actually help with burst though, so that is just one thing to note. And we do have the burst still, so we do fix the lack of the heal. We lose the sustain a little bit, but you've got siphoning strikes, which kind of works. So what we're losing is access to crystal frag, which is very, very good. So this is something I'm thinking of. I am wondering whether, again, it sounds a bit silly, but if we drop that and go for the Arcanist and go down to Herald of the Tome, and we could use Tome Bearer's Inspiration instead of Crit Surge. Gives us more pen, gives us more weapon and spell damage, gives us this passive consistent damage, which we do lack. As a Sork, you always lack that consistent damage. Plus it's more sustain. We don't get a burst hit though. Or I am leaning towards maybe Assassination, because you get access to Grim Focus, which hits like a truck, as we all know. This is crazy, crazy damage. You'd also get an Execute. The actual passives, though, aren't that great. Apart from that crit passive down there, the rest of it's pretty bad. Because you need the shields. And I can't think, I want to just double check there's no other class that gives us loads of max resource. I didn't think there was. I'm just checking down here. Anything that increases our max resource by a percentage is kind of what we're looking for at the moment. I don't think there was other than Nightblade. Nothing there. I don't think DK has anything like that. No, nothing down there. The Warden doesn't, I know that. And Necro doesn't. We're going to try going with the max magicka route and just see how that feels first. And just how much of a difference does it actually make, okay? It will probably take us about 5 minutes to set this up. I'm curious to see. We typically have around 48k, 50k magicka. Oh, okay, I'll travel back to my house in a sec. So I teleported right to where you were.
Yeah.
The question, I don't know where the house is though, that's the problem. It's the new one, I don't know which zone it's in. Honestly, you laugh, but I don't know where the house is. No, he's off at the moment. I would just go to a random guild house and would use that. Oh, I think I found it actually. Is it down here? Oh no, that's just a quest. I'm gonna go to a guild house and we'll just use that because that's easier, okay? If you're in Winter Rose, I'll go to Queen Missy's house. She's got like a really good house there. So I'm going to go for like a max mag shield build. So I'm going to use like Ancient Grace, Crafty Elfique, and literally just push magicka as high as we can. See how that looks. How are the tooltips? How's the damage? Is it really worth the bonus or not? You should be able to travel to me now, Jaeger. So this would just take me probably about 5 minutes to set up roughly. There you go, okay. Alright. We're going to put all of our points into magicka. We're going to go with the mage munders, and we're going to push magicka like through the roof. That's the plan. And then see how much of a difference does it actually make for the build. Hardened ward, that's going to go there. And Aegis is going to go there. We still need streak. Molten Curse goes here. Because you use so many skills on a sorcerer that actually all come from the Sulk. This isn't a bit more resources in, but it doesn't give us a hill. Let's go with a different hill instead. Minor mending. That will increase our shield, which is not too bad. Oh no, that won't increase our shield, sorry. It's not vitality, is it? Yeah, I'm not sure how useful the extra magicka will be, but we will try it. I'm going to get the light. Shooting star. You normally have frags there. I'm going to put on the class scribed skill. Right, so I've done most of the skills already. I'm just putting on the sets in a second, okay? It is an overland set. We need Multitudin. We need some PvP sets from Ancient Grace. Trainee are really good. I thought that reinforced that. There you go. We need Ancient Grace, which is down here somewhere. There is Grace of Ancients. The Lightning Staff. So what we're doing, if people are curious, is trying to stack max magicka as high as we can. Also utilizing some of the subclassing too to see can we get like even better. Where's the pickled fish bowl? That's great for us. We need overland set, and we need wretched vitality. Now we could put on two like magic sets, but I don't think we'd be able to sustain it properly, in all honesty. So I still think we'd have to use wretched anyway. Sash. I saw the weapon sets and stuff in the moment. I'm mostly there, okay? Benzil, you need to leave that group. There's our death dealers. Grace of Ancients. Got Ancient Grace there. I'll grab Crafty Alfeek as well. Let's look for overland sets. So many boxes to go through. Like this is the only part of the PTS that takes some time. Crafty Alfeek. So I'll first try it with the current setup. That way we've got like all the bits to quickly switch it to. We just need our trainee. Did I get that out? Yes. Need one more piece of crafty. Let me grab some boots. Robo says, is it possible to mix class sets? No is the answer. Woober. You can mix the skill lines though, so that's our crafty setup. We've got our wretched, we've got our Tudor. So this is like the kind of meta mag sort you'd find. We need to get a scribe skill. So that's going to be shock, mastery, breach. It's been quite weird, like having the magicka. You can mix up to 3 different classes, but if you want 2 of the same class, you have to have the same class. So if I want 2 Sulk lines, I have to be a Sulk. I can't do this on any other class but a Sulk. But let's go get our Mage Munders. So Magicka's already at 43k without CP, which is pretty high. We haven't got like any Munders in and stuff. Or Death Dealers on. Like that's not activated yet. It'd be quite interesting to see how high you can get that Magicka pool whilst being somewhat decent. Let me put my CP in quickly. I just wonder how much do we actually need to have Crystal Frag? Like it's so hit and miss. Can we get away without it? I'm not sure what's happened there, but I'm not going to say no to that. And then we might have to just use like Vigor as our heal instead. I am curious to see how big the shield will be. So yeah, if people are curious, what we're doing is we're looking at the Mag Sulk and seeing what would it be like if we redefined it and try and embrace the max stats much more. So 51k already. Let's change all our glyphs. And we go all magic because we have so much health. So you've got Tudun. I'm Wretched. They should be Wretched, I don't know what happened there. Weird. A crafty. Some magicka here. 54,000. Just need to get some more glyphs out quick. thought I got poisons. Yeah, so front bar we have 55,000 already, and that's without death dealers. Let's just get our death dealers on quickly and see what that goes up to. Obviously this is like... So I'm just going to let my death dealers charge. What's our shield on? Our shield is 21k. That is higher than normal. Death dealer is still going up. So yeah, once death dealers is fully procced, we can then check our shield and then start to have a little look. And try it in a duel and just see how it feels. Yeah, that looks like it's capped. So 58k, we can push it higher with some sets and a few changes. Does that give us, let's say, 22k, 11k spammable? I'm going to put bigger on the back bar because we don't actually have a heal yet. And you'd normally use that element of susceptibility just as a free dot. Or we could go overload, probably go overload to be honest, on the back bar. Where's my mages? I think we're mostly there actually with this. We don't have frags, and it'd be really weird to fight without frags. I didn't even check our sustains. We'll make it work. Yeah, I need to learn what my skills are. My vigor's in the wrong place. I need to get used to where that is. I need to push Y, which is my burst tool normally. The shield felt absolutely disgusting though. It was so freaking big. Oh, my streak's on the wrong bar. Yeah, I need to move my skills around. That has to be there. That did not feel nice. The rest of those are generally in the right place now. So we have no crit resist, by the way. Or like armor, like we're quite squishy actually. Yeah, it's interesting to see like how high you can push the mag. I think we could obviously get more out of it. So I don't know if it's worth it. That's kind of what I'm kind of wondering. Is it really worth stacking magicka this high and having no spell damage? Oh, so we do need to run one of these skills to get this. That would go there. We'll try that. A 57k mag, that's like, silly. I did put sheer shield or fire eventually. It's weird not having the frag. Really weird. Jarrells, I don't use Jarrells. That's like cheese dual spec. I'm pushing the shield. The delay on the shield is actually insane. Yeah, the lag's not helpful though. Really, really difficult. The latency here. Yeah. The shield's really big. He's got a proper good dual spec. This is good for dueling. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of lag when you CC break over here, isn't there? Have you noticed that or not? Yeah, you go. This is where you want to have Dart Deal. The shield is massive though. Absolutely obscene how big that is. I would say he's got a proper like dirty dual spec though. If people are curious, by the way, he's using War Chief, which is like, it is disgusting. In a duel, it's like the best set to run. Here it is, Malady. So what that does is it stops your healing. You cannot heal with that set on. And because he's got Blast Bones, it's also Major Defile. So I've got 55% healing reduction, which you don't have much healing as a... Yeah, he's in a dual spec. You can definitely feel it, 100%. That makes a big difference. I don't feel the extra mag is worth it. It feels so weird not having delayed burst, like with the frag. Like this hits hard. The spam ball hits really hard. I'll try on the heavy attack fire dot, you've probably noticed. It feels really clunky to use, like in a duel. So the delay on the shield is actually horrible. Yeah, if it's weird not having, I don't think the Nightblade extra mag is worth it. The shield is good though, it's just you don't have that follow-up. That's what I was having earlier, it's horrible. Pardon? No, I've got a skill that's snaring you. Yeah, I don't really use like those kind of poisons. Alright, let me put on some buffs now. I've been doing it without my damage buff just to see. I'll push the street, there we go, there it was. Yeah. The shield is huge. I don't think it's worth it. Like it's actually disgusting how big it is. I think I'm pretty convinced using that is not worth it. I'm gonna try changing it out and then using maybe the assassination skill line. Because what we're basically lacking is the big burst. Like our traits aren't quite right in all honesty, but they're not terrible. Oh, that they need to fix that. It's actually stupid. You know the quest where you speak to the woman, she gives you subclassing. You then have to speak to her again to like confirm, even though you've changed your skill line. It's really annoying. I don't know if you had that or not a few times, Jaeger. Yeah, so once you've done it, she lets you subclass the skill line, which you do. Then you like leave the whole UI. So you think you've done the quest. But you're not done it until you speak to her a second time. So then goes, now you've done the quest. So it's like it's really annoying. Because you can't subclass the other skills until you've done that. Like, I know once it's in and you've done it once, you'll be fine. It's just, it feels like an unnecessary step. A merciless resolve. I wonder whether this will be better because you can actually control the proc. So we're going to try with Merciless, which obviously it's got a 23k tooltip already. It's obscene. Well, I did think that you could have it as a passive. I think I'd have to build. I'm trying to play it like a traditional for the moment. Yeah, that's quite nice. On permanent buffs because of this stupid tracker. Benzo, do you have a non-dual build? Obviously, where's the ice on the... Where did you pop to, Jaeger? Talk builds are fun. I think the one I had like 50k mag and 7,000 spell damage. It was obscene. It's like stupidly broke. Are you ready? Yeah, so you should hit hard with... Ah, that's nice. You shoot the first spec bow, then you streak, and then you shoot the second. That hits really well. Because you can control that burst. That's a nice amount of burst. Is that Reliquin as well? That's a nasty set, that is. Doesn't feel like my spec bow is firing. I've pushed it a few times. I haven't seen any numbers for it at all. Come up. Oh, there it is. 6,000. Came up finally. The one thing I do notice is you do lack a lot of mag sustain without Dark Deal. You don't really notice how much it gives you actually, sustain wise. Yeah, double spec bow is really nice. That actually feels easier on Salt to get kills with compared to like frags because it's reliable. Like if I'm putting overload with this, I think you'd actually melt people. I'll try with overload this time, okay? Like that. That's horrible, isn't it? Overload at spec bows, so much damage. You like no Arcar, don't you?
Yeah.
I noticed there's a recurring theme every time I fought. It's always been on. Did it push my hill? My hill will go eventually, won't it? We'll let the relic and wear off. That horrible that set. I pushed the shield. Yeah, the lag is here. Oof. Reliquim for context. See how much damage that did. It did 6 and a bit %. It's a good set. Very good set. It's a good dual set. I think it's worth stressing as well, Benzel, that you'll see. So I'm from EU, so the PTS is on NA, so there's like a lot of latency, which doesn't actually help because there's times where I pushed a shield and it didn't fire. So you can see the controller. When I CC break and I push a shield, when I get up, it doesn't fire the shield. That's happened a few times. Whereas normally that would fire straight away on EU because obviously I'm just closer to the server. So like in classes where you're reliant on that shield being responsive, it does like make a difference with survivability. I don't think Flail's doing as much as you. I don't think it's adding like a lot of bursts. It's good spammable. Oh, the lag's awful. When you get lag on a Sulk, it's terrible. I think I quite like this. I like how this feels. I might use a Nightblade actually on my Sulk. So I pushed the shield down, I roll dodge, didn't fire. I pushed my potion, didn't fire. It even made a sound effect though. Now it's fired. So I'm spamming shield, it didn't fire then either. I think without lag, I think this is quite a good setup. You need to build around the... You have to run Vigor. I don't think susceptibility is needed. I might swap that out because I've got Breach on my script, which I don't need anymore. So I must tweak this a little bit. Could go with Defile, which I think probably would be a better one. Or Vitality for more healing. That make our shields really freaking big. Let's try Defile first. One of the things Sorc's always lacked is like the ability to finish people. But that double spec bow did feel very noticeable. I'm pushing my light attacks. It's not letting me light attack weave. Yeah, they still have that bug from the yeah. I posted a shield then, it didn't fire. No, it did fire after the second go. Definitely feels like that's more of a dual spec as well, because it doesn't have enough speed. Like in a larger fight, you could be out of range on that. It feels too slow. You see what I mean? Because it uses the Templar hills to sit in the hills. So you would literally just do this, wouldn't you? Charge your ult up. The shield is ridiculous. You can literally sit there and spam that. I feel like what Benzel has is a very good like spec for 1v1s. I don't know how it would do with more people hitting it. Yes, Sea Serpents are fantastic for fighting. So like that, you can do really nice burst with it. Spec Bow seems to land you a lot more as well for some reason. Yeah, I think I might go with spec bow next patch actually on my Sorc. Because it hits so much harder than frag. It also heals you, which is what. So there's a morph that heals you, so it heals you for 51% of the damage. It's got a 25k tooltip. Like, really freaking nasty. The new mythic's really good. Benzel, really, really good. Yeah, I would agree with the mag sustain is that's something I want to look at. I could obviously change some glyphs around. Sorry, traits and jewelry. Because when you got stuff like this, yeah, so if you watch this. That almost blew him up, that did. Because you can double stack frags, which what makes it so sorry, spec bow, which what makes it so strong. I'm gonna just switch my ult over quickly. I want overload on the front bar. It's buggy on the back bar. If you will kill me, it's fine. See, spec bow is a huge amount of damage in it. That. Yeah, I definitely like spec bow with this. I think, yeah, Dorino is right that we need to get the stand back somehow. Good. Maybe we do this. I think we do this. Let's try this. I think I'll change these to infuse. Change that to stam. I'll probably keep it stam magic because we need the vigor. That's our only heal. Right, I've changed something. I want to see what you think of this. Okay. You ready, Jaeger? I want to see how this feels. Okay. So we'll fight like normal. That was just I think I'm gonna stick with the overload. I think the overload is incap's great. Like literally incap into spec bow is 20k. Like if you, I think the issue is because you use streak. I might change to ball of lightning actually. Sounds silly, but I don't need the stun. If I'm using incap for my stun. that was an overload into spec bow. That was. That's literally your health bar just went. You had a shield on as well. It's horrible. I would probably do overload on the back bot. Just on the PTS, it's too laggy here. You need to have to be able to use it reliably. It's clunky as hell. Just because of the lag. Like normally, I would definitely do this. I think I'm quite happy with this though. Bloodspawn's a great set. I absolutely love Bloodspawn. Alright. I think we need to fix the Team Frizzy's like incap. Yeah, incap's great, honestly. Incap, spec bow, haunting curse. So much damage if you can sync that. Yeah, I think it's just the sustain. If we fix the sustain on this, I think we're good to go. Like, we've got 2k regen when we're fully buffed, but it's not enough. Like, I know it's not enough. But we're going to fight up here, I guess. I need down there, great. Yeah, that spec bow and overload is literally enough to take off your entire shield and get the damage through. I did push an thing there. Oh, I didn't realise I was out of the range. Sorry. The class mastery is giving us loads of damage. It's an extra 3k. It makes us stupidly strong. I might put on vitality though for bigger shields, because why not? Just reset my ult. Yeah, the spec bow is so much more damage than frags. So much more damage. Oh. I wish one of those was at Battlegrounds. I'm pushing my shield, there it goes. I'm pushing the shield. You can literally see me spamming the shield. Survival is fine on this though. You literally have to like get yourself in a situation where you get locked in place. The Eric was saying about Hardened Wood isn't worth running. I have tried both, but Hardened Wood is worth using. Like, the shield difference is massive. So this is 20k. Now in PvP, I'll show you the other bit. Where is it? This is 15,000, this is 20. It's literally... And then what you got to factor in though, I think this is where they've missed the... They've missed a little bit of a trick here. The problem they have is that the difference here is basically 5,000, yeah? I think we can all agree on that. Now, the heal, though, that you get there is 2,800. Sorry, I was letting my cat in. So the heal's 2,800. The heal's not... It doesn't make up for the loss of the 5,000. And then this heal gets reduced by Battle Spirit again. So I don't think that's worth it. Now, you could do double shield with the contingency, as I think people are saying, and I've used contingency before. It's got the Gladiator Tenacity, I think it's called. Yeah, this one here. This is really good. So you could use this as your burst heal. And I've done this before. And you can also put on the regens. So this is a really nice way to get a heal. It's also more sustained, it's more mitigation, it's really, really good. The issue obviously is that it's a bit clunky to use as a heal. Big is generally better. The Scribe Shield heal is significantly less. So this is 14,000. My Hardened Ward is 20,000. Now, I could put on Resurgence to save some sustain, but the Mastery is too good to give up. If you are using the Nightblade with this, I think you need the Mastery personally because it gives you the additional follow-up that you wouldn't have otherwise because you don't have the frag spam constantly. With frags, you constantly hit them really, really hard. Now, I'm going to change my mag a little bit and just put one of these onto recovery. It could be... We'll try it both ways first. We'll see how much of a difference it makes. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. First, the damage loss. I'm probably going to go with Fatality, bigger shields. Like... So we'll try this. I've got the thing anyway, so I was using Jaeger's on assault. He is. Eric, who was saying that? I'm just curious because I can't. I'm struggling to see why you would drop summoning. It's that good. A random streamer. Like, the shield is so big. And you could use Blast Bones. But this is... It's like 25k, this. It's obscene how much damage it is. When it's buffed, it's 25k. You land that with Curse, which is like 15k. It's a lot of damage. Unless you're going against like a dual spec. Which it does look like Matey Boy's on. So look, he's got Meridia's Blessed Armory on. That's what I was wondering why I was missing him so much. But that's what it looks like. Could be wrong. But it was walking around and just getting dodge. No, I'm pushing the shield. You said delay, that's insane. The shield delay with PTS is huge. Unbuffed at the moment is 23,800. I do have 7 stacks of it, but yeah. If I put my damage buff, 25,600. I think if you drop the... Why do I have 4 skill lines? What the... I got 4 skill lines. I want to put these in. I want these ones. They won't let me put the skills in. Yeah, look at this if you want. You can see the stream. Look, I can see the entire dark magic skill line, but I can't use it. So dark magic, Daedric summoning, storm calling, and assassination. The Lily, the Relican does a lot of the damage. It does look like you got Meridius Blessed Armor on. I could be wrong, but that's what it felt like. Because you're running around, you're dodging stuff. Dead. The shield doesn't heal you anymore. But it is... Yep. I'll just be 1 sec, okay? Hello. Sorry about that. I was sorting the cat out. Essence Thief, ready, Bloodspawn. Yeah, that's it. You changed your mythic because you had the Sea Serpent's Coil on. Let me just remove that. Dead. Yeah, that's the burst combo you're going to do in 1vx. Stack 2 spec bows, overload, light, so it'd be like light attack overload with the streak and spec bow. Then you roll through them once they're stunned, and then the second spec bow to kill. Like, that is a lot of burst. It's also really reliable as well. You ready? Oh, that's some nice mad burst there, though. You literally, the overload and spec bows, was that 17k, wasn't it? It's obscene. Yeah, what Rally's really good. Rally and Essence are like solid sets. I don't really use Geralt. If you're on an Arcanist, you can get away with Geralt because you've got shields, and shields don't get affected by Geralts. I'm just seeing if there's anything else we can do with this to make this better. Death Dealers is needed. Like, the traits aren't even the best traits for this, in all honesty. Because I can't see... Like, dropping summoning makes no sense. I'll pull it up. It is about 6k left. Like, less. It's pretty big. Let me put it into Shield and Soul. Damage Shield. Damage Shield. Resurgence. And say... I'll put Intellect for the moment, but because the Vitality will give you a false impression of what it actually hits us for. Yeah, you had to just stand still a sec. I just want to just, like, charge up thingy. And then... You had the same issue I had. Had to go bigger. Oh, you're fighting Matey Boy. The other thing you got to bear in mind as well, with the drop in the shield. So say you drop Daedric Summoning, you lose a absolute fuck ton of magicka. Like, pardon the language, but if you have a look, yeah, I'm just gonna hit you with a dot just to charge up the thing up, okay? So if you have a look, you get Expert Summoner, that's 5% there. You then get Bound Aegis, that's another 8%, so that's 13% max magic you lose. Your shield scale of max resource, that's a huge amount of magicka you're missing. So our fate is charging up. I will charge it fully so you can see the difference. The only thing I don't like is Vigorous Shield is fine. Like, it's a 22k heal. It's freaking massive. Yeah, like, it is a really big heal. It's almost charged. I've got another 8 seconds to go. Oh, I completely agree that you need to look at the total thing. With the summoning, if you look at what it brings to the kit, you get a bit of like sustain, nothing massive in all honesty. 15% ult reduction, that's quite big. That's really, really nice. Reduce your damage taken while you have, so it's 5% damage reduction. Plus you get 5% max magical max thing. So if I look at the shield now, yeah? This is a 10,200 shield. This is 15,000. It is literally half the... Like, it's 50% more. It is massive compared to that. It's also cheaper. So we could drop summoning. Yeah, I'm happy to try that. No, we've got nothing to lose, have we? That's kind of what I want to do with this stream. I don't have any... I have no spammable... I'll let you go away. That shield though is actually disgusting. Come on, keep going. We believe in you, keep going. You're almost there. You're almost there. That's actually stupid, isn't it? I can do this. Oh, almost killed you. Almost. Sorry, I'll streak away. I was messing around. Obviously, I think Eric's also right that you need to factor in the... I don't think he mentioned it, but you need to factor in the 600 to sustain here. This is quite noticeable. So this is about 3,800. The reason why it doesn't look as bad in PvE land is because you don't get Battle Spirit. But when you factor in the Battle Spirit, it is literally 50% less. It is quite noticeable. The banner banner is way more expensive than it used to be. But let's go with the idea for a moment. Let's drop summoning, yeah. And then we could run something else. I just want to check what my max magic will be, though. I'm just curious to see the difference. Because you'll see an instant, like how much is that actual 8, that combined. That makes sense. So we're almost at 30 stacks. Okay, we're 30 stacks. So our max magic is 57,748. We can push it higher if we want, but I don't think it's worth it personally. So what we're now going to do is we're now going to try and change the skill line. We obviously then have to change the skill. The spammable is quite a big change. But what could we get differently is kind of the real question. Animal companions was obviously something that people were looking at. So we could drop that. The thing that if you do that though, you lose Haunting Curse. I can drop... I don't think we actually need... I would drop this personally. Like if it's me, I would go with Shock, Class Mastery, Breach. I think that's the better one there. And then I would go and... We've got the Breach already. Restoring Light can be purged too. Restoring Light only fills up on your damage too, by the way. So the problem you have with Restoring Light is that you have to fill it up. We are going to change the skill line though, but yeah, if you team, well, I'd probably swap this for another heal. Go for Ulfrid's Contingency. That's what I did. So on my original Archmage, what I did was Contingency, Healing, Gladiator Tenacity for more mitigation, which was really nice. And then I ran the regens. And then if you did this, because you're going for much more burst, I put that there. So then what that gave me access to basically a burst deal when I needed it. Also loads of damage reduction, which was really, really nice. Also factor in that Aegis also gives you minor resolve. So you can drop Figure. Oh, I think you need the Figure though. I think you need the healing personally. But we need some way to get some resources back. So maybe we can do some like set shenanigans. I will try though what Eric suggested. Yeah, Willed Soul, we did check. Willed Soul has the highest shield tooltip, just so you're aware. And that was 10,500 roughly. That was in a duel with Dark Convergence, sorry, Death Dead is fully buffed. And then the same spec, I had both shields in the bar. The Hardened Ward was 15,000 something. It was about 5,000 more. It was literally 50% stronger. So there was quite a big difference between the two. I'll try it though. I think, you know, I just wonder whether Storm Calling is needed. It sounds silly. Like the Overload is great. No, that was with Battle Spirit, Eric. It was 5,000 with Battle Spirit. That was the difference. It was massive. So it was literally 50% stronger with Battle Spirit, like active. We lose a bit of recovery. We do some damage there. You can't drop a main spammable though. Well, my main spammable at the moment is just Shock and Soul. But that's arguably the best spammable you should use. It is the hardest hitting spammable you'll get. It's literally, was it 14,000 almost? Like when it's fully buffed, I think when I was looking at it, it's 14, 15k. It's huge. We lose Overload, which is incredible. That's like stupidly good. Overload and Spec Bow is fantastic. We lose Crit Surge. We needed something with a damage buff. I'm going to try this and be a bit weird, okay? Bear with me a second. I've got an idea. This might not work, but I think I'm hopeful. Herald of the Tome. Let's get rid of Storm Calling. So I know you're all going to be looking at me like, what am I doing? Because we can use Mistform for the speed if we need. That is an option there. I wonder how much of a difference Recuperative Tree Ties, because look, it's a huge amount of damage. It's automatically procs. It's our damage buff, and it's also sustain. It procs really good crit damage down here. It procs more weapon and spell damage, which is nice. More pen. So we can put this on the back bar. We can still keep our cursor on the front bar. Now we do lack a mobility skill, but if we're trying to just attack people, it sounds silly, yeah? That's Mind of Berserk. We go with this. Like, I know you're thinking like, damn, what are you doing, yeah? But hear me out, okay? Okay, let's try this. Now, what I want, I don't think this will work. Obviously, this applies on your class skills. Will it apply on that? Obviously, I know it's every 5 seconds, and this will be every 5 seconds pretty much, so we'd get that up all the time, yeah? But that'll make our curse hit stupidly freaking hard. Yeah, I love a bit of that. Dead. Ah! Having a melee execute is really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm important Spec Bow though. I went to push Spec Bow and it meant to push Killer's Blade. We'll try it this way. Are you ready, Jaeger? I do think the streak's nice, so. So I'm just curious about the burst. I'm literally pushing skills. There, now it's fired. The lag on there is insane. That lag was ridiculous. Me walking around, I was pushing the LB to try and do it. It's like, you're dodge rolling. Like, no, I'm not. I'm walking around. Yeah, I don't think I'd drop it, but I want to just see if it's worth it. Also, I know when you fight like a dual spec, it's obviously much harder to get a proper test. Yeah, Benzil, do you have anything that's not a dual spec? In all... Because like, it's very clear that is set up for like fighting in melee and... I still prefer Streak, not gonna lie. I'm gonna go back to Streak. I think Streak's better. We can try Warden. Let's see it with Warden. Animal Companions. I don't think the Animal Companions skill lines are that good though. Like the passives. The recovery is nice. But the actual damage side of it is quite low. The only advantages you get Deep Fissure, which is pretty good. It is a pretty good skill. And we then have to run Betty as our damage buff. So you do get that too. We could obviously just run that there. I feel like these land together and hit really, really freaking hard. But that's if they land together. That was quite a lot of burst, wasn't it? Did you try frag and spec bow combo yet? I haven't yet, because it's the problem is what do you drop? Streak's very good. Like the burst there was nice. Landing Deep Fissure and stuff is horrible. One thing I would say though, running the 3 damage skills that we have, these 3 combined, a Resolve, Curse and Fissure, is you have pretty much every 2 seconds a massive hit coming in every single time. I don't know if you noticed that or not, like Jaeger, like every couple seconds you had a huge amount of health just being taken away. Oh, that was nice. I do love Deep Fissure. I'm very good with, but like landing that Deep Fissure and spec bow was it's pretty much a one hit. I think it was pretty much a full health, wasn't you? I've got very little crit resist, so it won't make much difference against me. We can see what the Twilight Hill is. The hill was pretty, like, it's not that good anymore. So it causing it's 14,000. So it's pretty, and so it was 2 times 40,000 and 7 for itself. But it's 2 bar slots. That's the problem. You going for your... The spec bow is just insane. I don't feel we need more damage though. This sounds silly. Yeah, you go. Do you have like a tankier normal PvP build like on the server or not? That could be one from like last patch, even. There's...
I do.
Yeah, I'll try a spec bow and frag in a second. I meant to push my ink up the first time and I didn't fire. It's silver, 7k silvers. Literally one hit of silver, 7,000. I can see why you like it. I think the overload was better though, personally. Overload and spec bow was much more damage. Dead.
Nice.
I landed the deep fish and the curse and the spec bow all at once. That's like dead. There's a lot of damage. Like if you can delay that, it's a hell of a lot of damage. I don't know how practical it is. That's kind of my concern. But yeah, spec bow is like goated. It is so freaking good. Wow. Almost had you there with the combo. With the 3 burst skills, it is a lot of damage, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, let's fight Alpha. I think you need a heal over time. With this spec, you have to run vigor, and then you have to drop something. Obviously, there I rolled and I didn't push my heal, just to see like how it would work, and you don't have that passive healing with the spec. The damage is great. Like if you land the damage, it's so much damage. The matriarch is not as good as it used to be, honestly. It takes two bar slots, so as soon as you put this on here, yeah? And then anybody competent will always kill the pet first. Anytime I fight somebody, if I see that thing out, that's the first thing I kill, because you can kill it in one burst combo. And then they have to then spend a second summoning it, and they haven't got a heal. It's like one of those ones where it's really good against like below average players. I do have a pet Sulk build. Oh, you're there. I couldn't see you. You're like pretty much invisible. I was literally trying to find. Look at him. That's like some sort of COD cheat skin, isn't it? There's a 6k hill with the Twilight. It's not worth it. You can get a hot from Alfred's, but it's not worth it. The heal over time is really low compared to the other buffs you can get. I think Storm Cordon is better than Animal Companions. The heal over time is it's not too bad actually. It's just it's over 22 seconds. It's like really. Sorry, that was 7k over 12 seconds. That's not great. 80% damage reduction. Keep that. The damage reduction is better. Where are you, Jaeger? It definitely seems like all the ones that I've seen people duel with, lots of people running Temper in some capacity for the rune. The big cleanse and the rune in the one skill line is loads of passive healing, allows you to fight and stay like really offensive because you've got so much passive healing. And then people either run Blast Bones with it or they run like the Animal Companions or the Arcanist. I'm pushing my potion. My shield, by the way. You can literally see me spamming my shield, it's just not firing. Yeah, I personally think I would drop the animal. I don't think it's worth it. Like having 3 burst skills to try and sync together. Okay, I need to get this stupid bloody pet. This Twilight's terrible. If you can sync the frag with either a Deep Fissure or a Spec Bow, it's burst. Like really good damage. I think that's where this shines. These 3 skills combine really well because Deep Fissure and Curse are just passive like burst skills, and Spec Bow you can just sync up when one of those goes off to give you a huge amount of damage. And that was really easy to like land quite consistently. The sustain's awful though. I think the beetles got you as you streaked, didn't it?
Yeah. That all you.
Now you could probably drop companions for blast pains, but you then lose damage buff, you lose movement skill. So there's definite trade-offs. I'll try once more. Let me just change these skills back to what they should be, not like this silly pet. We're not keeping the pet. I'm sorry, the pet is not worth it. I do wonder about Templar. Dawn's Wrath, because you get a minor sorcery. The damage is nice. The willed slow is like the best spammable. It's obscene how much damage it does. It's so freaking good. Let's try... Animal Companions felt cool, but I don't know how... Like, yeah, I'm not convinced on it. I will try Dark Magic as well, Eric. We'll try Templar. Dawn's Wrath. Dawn's Wrath has some really good skills, which could help with a lot of the problems we have, actually. So we've got loads of ult gen. Minor Sorcerer, which is loads of damage, which is great. We've got access to Backlash, which basically is just free damage. Eclipse, fantastic heal over time. And Jesus Beam. Almost done, just putting on the stuff. Live in Dark. I don't think the beam's that good. Alright. He said it was 22,000 damage. Let's have a look at that. I know it was 30,000 damage. Okay, that was pretty good. That's a hell of a lot of damage.
That is.
I really like it's so cool with how much you can change the builds. Like, they are so versatile. Because like, this plays very different to what we had a minute ago. Beam, 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 beam. The beam is quite nice. that was the last hit you for 10k whilst you're blocking. I saw it pop up. I was like, that's obscene. Like, you're pretty much dead. Oh, what order does it come with? It does come with Nova. Yeah, it's interrupt and dodge. Beam's way more balanced. It's good. Very, very good. I don't think this is worked better, though. I think the... Well, he's blocking it. If you try and dodge roll it. I think Jaeger's so used, like I am, to blocking beam instead of dodge rolling. Because it's what you normally do.
When you put the beam to interrupt you,
He said he was waiting for the beam to interrupt, and I was just using spec bow. I don't think we need the beam, to be honest. Like it's fun, but the damage, our spec bow damage is so high. Like, we don't need it. The power of the light, it did hit him, but it didn't hit him as hard as I thought it would. So power of the light was 5k. To be fair, I did sync all that up though. That was a very good burst. That was also the beam on the end.
maybe another 12,000.
I hit him with the beam right at the end. So when it all went off, I hit the beam just as I was waiting for the things to explode. You got a lot of health. He's got 36k health. I didn't realise how much health you had. So I think if power light goes off, yeah, we went for the bash. He bashed me, little bugger. Bashed me, got me.
For that.
He said he was waiting for the bash. He got the bash. Beam is fun. I don't think it's optimal though. Is my take. I'm going to change it back to Overload, and just to see how much better is Overload. I don't feel like we can give up the Daedric Summoning. It's got too many useful skills. Burst skill, massive shield, more max resources. It's everything Assault needs, and it is the best shield in the game. Stormcalling has so many good skills. Surge, get more healing. That will thank you very, very much. Streak. I don't think you're going to use the beam much, in all honesty. I don't think you need power light either. I think Overload carries the damage enough, personally. We had Vigor, didn't we, before? I like having Vigor, that was quite nice. I wish there was like a different inner thoughts, deep thoughts type thing. We can like use it and it's instant, like Dark Deal. Oh, I didn't get my Overload. All right, we'll fight this one and then I'll put an Overload after. Okay. I did push my shield and it didn't even fire. This shield did not fire. Yeah, I think Overload is going to be the way to go though. Overload, when I was doing it earlier, Overload and Spec Bow with Curse, if you land those together, it's so much damage and on like a not typical build. Yeah, he's on now. So you can enjoy that. That was no Overload Spec Bow there. That was about 21k, wasn't it, in one hit? So a 14,000 and a 7,000 combined. Overload 7k. Spec Bow 11,000. Is it 28k? 18,000. I don't know why I said 28k. So it's a bit late. I feel I'm quite happy with this actually. I'm very happy with where this is at. This feels in a good place. You can see zero there, could you? It's going to come down to basically line up burst, isn't it, in PvP? Spec Bow just hits so hard. Yeah, I'll try frag and thing, Eric, now. We will have to drop something, though. So, you're to just... Alright. Dark Magic. We're going to have to drop the Storm Calling. So crystal weapon hits like really hard as well, doesn't it? I think probably the smart move would be crystal weapon with spec bow and overload. That you can land it together. You can control when that lands every single time. Whereas with frags you can't. I'll try crystal weapon. I will try with normal frag too. We don't have a damage buff, so we'd have to run Mage Guild Entropy. Or you could run like a two-hander rally. I'd probably do two-hander rally actually. Just because the rally gives you stam regen and it also gives you another burst heal. Which obviously any burst heal will help. I'm just finishing off my ult. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got pretty good hopes about this actually. I did put on. That hit really hard there, didn't it? I don't have a. I went to push that as vigor. I meant to roll dodge. You can't. I don't know if you saw that. But the overload is good with crystal weapon. Well, I've used it on a gank build, and I know it's disgusting. As Jordan, somebody had a build, and I hit him with overload and crystal weapon on my sets, and he died in one hit. He had 35k health, and a shield on. He just blew up instantly. Yeah, the lag there. I'll try with a normal frag. I think when you're getting to like so many things that need to line up, it becomes really hard, and you lose your shield as well. It becomes really awkward to make this work. But it could be nice. Spec bow just hits way harder than frag does. Yeah, frags is not worth. I hit you with frags as well. That felt really. It felt really shit. Like 7k, and that was a crit. That was a frag. A frag was 7k a crit. A spec bow has been like 15,000 crits. Can I do it again? I just want to see if I can get a spec bow crit just to show. There's about a 5k difference in damage. It's quite noticeable. Yeah, well, yeah, like you keep your buffs on, so how it was before, just to show. I'll get both the spec bow up to 10 though, just so that way it's balanced. Okay. Alright. Okay. So I'll just keep doing it till my frag is ready. Frag's now ready, okay? 5,890. Spec by 9,000. Right, to now keep your shield off for a sec. Can I try when your shield's off? Because it's easier to see the yellow number that way. 6,900 was with the thing. That was no crit. So let me try it up again, sorry. Yeah, so I want it to proc. Open proc. You literally spend ages waiting for it to proc, don't you? 5,300. Would it proc again? 7,800. Okay, that's the damage it does, yeah? 9,000. So it's about an extra 2k. I think the difference is, though, with the spec bows, you can charge 2 up. So when you got 2 charged up, you can do that, which you can't do that with frags as easily. Because I've done it in many videos where I've said about a double frag proc. So where you hard cast frags and it procs itself. That's weird. The animation's well buggy, they're well weird. But like that's a double frag proc. I've just thought spec bow is way better. It is, yeah. In theory, it sounds great. Land and spec bow into a frag sounds brilliant. You can't reliably do it. That's the problem. And so for that reason alone, I don't think it's worth it. Is my thoughts. I do like what we've done with the Sulk though. Adding in the Nightblade, that seemed pretty good as a combo. This felt like the best all-round setup that we had. This felt it had the mobility still. The only thing it lost was the sustain from. The only thing you lost was the sustain. But you can kind of fix that with just a few changes. Let me put my vigor on you. So you just have to slot on an extra glyph. But you also get a lot more crit chance, which is quite noticeable, and that crit damage is helpful too. Alright. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to fight normally, I've got the normal build on, so we can... I'm pushing my shield, believe it or not. It will fire eventually. Do you know what I mean? I was literally spamming the shield, it just was not firing. It's just very when you get lag with shield, it's really, really hard. I find overload looks a bit weird. Yeah, the frag proc and bat bars, it's helpful. But the problem is you still need to actively use the skill. Well, snakes in the start, it's really freaking annoying. Ah, there you go.
Nice. That was...
Yeah, I think with what you're doing, Jaeger, she said using spec bow will probably be better for you. I did push my streak. We'll fire eventually. It does feel weird though not having the speed. The dart deal. That's the only thing I need to get used to. I do think though, having done the PTS and you guys will feel it when it comes obviously on live. I don't know if you agree, yeah, you got burst feels much higher, like it's much more skillful. There's more like windows of jeopardy where you can be killed if you're not careful.
Oh, actually,
I went to roll dodge there, couldn't even see Z break. Yeah, the dots on that are nice. The Star Venom's really good on that. Because it really hurts like this, because I don't have a lot of healing power because of the shield nerf. So any little healing power I have is not actually doing enough. No archive is just really freaking strong. How big is your shield? Your shield feels fucking huge as well, like mine. What are you hitting with that stuns me? 'Cause it's not a streak, you got like... Oh, Days and Soul. I wonder what... Because normally you can see like the skill coming in.
feel like viability.
I did push straight. I pushed it 3 times there. Yeah, the Star Venom's nasty. Yeah, so your shield's very similar to mine. Willy Wonka says there's no point for classes or stand one mag resource pools at this point. Just get rid of it. I think I know obviously Willie mentioned a bit further up about the class identity and like, kind of gone. I would say that like most classes, in all honesty, they run the same sets on live. Like you can go onto YouTube, look for most PvP builds. You'll see Wretched Vitality, Rallying Cry, Balorg. You see Death Dealer's Feet. You might see Sea Serpent. You might see Saint and Seducer. You might see Essence Thief, and then you probably have Tarnished Nightmares, No Arcana, and that's about it. It's kind of those sets just rotated around between the builds. You know, you might get a bit more exotic and have Pyre Band on a DK or Scavenging Demise for more like exotic builds. Everybody's running the same sets. People are running the similar types of skills. I do think they need to address class identity. Personally, I think it is going to get lost a little bit for some builds. I thought it accepted that. Let's pop over here where there's a bit of flower. I'm going to try with Dawnbreaker this time. See if that's any better. I had an idea which I said to my mate Nath about how they could fix this. Love how you old charge him, I didn't. Oh, yeah, that vampire spammable is really good. Melee's definitely better in lag. Like Melee's way better in lag because you can actually land it consistently. Which I changed to a melee skill and I show people the difference. Like it makes a massive difference with thing. Woody Wonka says, always enjoyed your content, but haven't played in 4 years. Still watch though. Bogenken's back next patch. It's like obscenely broken next patch. I'll see if I can find the screenshot. If you imagine like the 20k snipes, it's like way more burst now than it ever was. It is. Honestly, I've got to show you this. Bear with me 1 second. Have a look at this. This is me on a Bogank build. You'll notice that the combat lasted 1 second. The guy had max resistances. He had 35k health. And I hit him once and he blew up. He had a shield on as well, which doesn't show on there. So yeah, the damage is like obscene if you build it right. It is, oh, it was glorious. It was literally heavy attack and people had 30k health and died instantly. So I'm looking forward to showcasing those next patch. Jaeger, you were saying sorry before I got carried away with the sniper. You'd have to get the crown ones and try and transfer them in thing. I've got someone here I can give you. No, I don't. We just have to do it without potions and hope for the best. You can use the crowns and just buy some from the crown store. They got Scavenger Demise on. You're one of those people. Dead. Like the melee just hits consistently because I don't think people realise it. There's a point, I think it's 100 millisecond delay with any range projectile, whereas melee does not have that. So if you push a melee skill and roll dodge, it hits instantly. And that makes a big difference when trying to kill better players. Like a big difference. Yeah, I'm quite happy with where this is at, though. As a sort, I think this is probably what I'm going to run on the live server. Abyss Walker says, do any non-sorcerer shields perform this well? No. Not really. The only kind of one that kind of does is the Arcanist one. But the problem is it's like 1 second. So the other thing you also look at is the passives that you get with it. I did push shot there. You got corrosive on. I wonder what was hitting me so freaking hard. Okay. The spec bow is so much better than frags because you can control it. It doesn't seem like a big difference, but it is a big difference. The ability to be able to decide when to fire it and hold it 2 of them at once. It's huge. Absolutely huge. What are you trying to do on Abyss, if you're still there? Alright, you ready? I was waiting, as you could probably tell, for the. It was like waiting for that curse to go, then shoot the frag, or in this case, spec bow. I don't know if you noticed that or not. So I was holding the spec bow just for when the curse was ready to blow up. But you don't know when the burst is going to come, do you? So that's nice when that happens. When you get that on the DK, it's really nice. The more hit me for 9.7k. That hit harder than any of your skills, including your ult. Do you have a Shattering Rock on there, don't you? Yeah, what you want to do, because I've seen it, if you use the Shattering Rock when you see the proc fire. So what you're doing is you're doing the. So you want to see it when the circle goes around my player and then do it, because I can't dodge it. So when you start to see that circle form, so like now you know you can't do it, so I could dodge that. You should get a telegraph for yourself that you could see. Oh, maybe they took it up. It used to give you a circle on the your side too.
No incoming.
Yeah, weird. It used to do that. That is weird. Yeah, I'm happy with where this is at. I don't think we can make this much. Other than refining around the edges, I think this is in a pretty good spot. Shield's balance, mate. Shield's balance. I am pushing my shield, by the way. I was literally spamming, but I couldn't get the first one off because of the lag. More though is good. A lot of your more definitely is needed on DK, 100%. Or you need to change something else. That hits really freaking hard. I mean, at a point where I could use it on my one, on my Sulk. So I wonder if he's got this CP on that lets him dodge roll every couple of seconds. Because when I see CC break and I shoot them with projectiles, they dodge instantly. Oh, that dodges again. Because it feels like he's using Meridian's Blessed set. Because he's not... He's jumping around, but they're not actually like doing the dodge animation. Yeah, you can the lag on the. All I can. Where is he? Is it Benzil? Isn't it? You're from NA, Benzil. Just like when I look back on it, like that there seems like be like no delay. If that makes sense. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. Yeah, you go. So like when you stun him, he sees he breaks instantly.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously like, you know, on live I don't have that issue at all. But over here, like I'm literally pushing. You can see it on the screen. I've got the controller. Then it just doesn't do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one. I'll shoot. Okay, because it's late where we are. That Moor hit really fucking hard, that did. Stam. It's the lag. You'll see it though. I don't know if you've got the screen up. You see I'm pushing buttons to cast skills. I've got resources. Not firing. Like that's the lag. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot as well. I'm gonna say yeah, just a massive thanks, Jaeger, for obviously helping tonight. It's been really helpful. And I feel like we've got a good update for the Sulk. The dot build, a little disappointed with, just because you're better just running burst. In all honesty, like burst is just better. But it was interesting to see like kind of how the builds are going to change. Lag on classes like this, it's just awful. Though, so I think you need to be careful about how much damage you build. If you don't build enough defense, you are going to die. Yeah, I know. You've literally noticed that too. You can hear me. If you're literally watching, I'm literally spamming shield. My shield. It's just a lag, isn't it? There's a lot of ping there. You can see like when the shields work, literally the damage output is just not there. It doesn't. It doesn't have enough damage. If that makes sense. But yeah, it's not me going mad with the dodge roll. Like you shoot and it just says dodge when he's running around. Like really, really odd. Like it's obviously latency issues. But you can see I've got the stream in like a couple seconds apart where I get stunned and I'm literally spamming B, which is my shield, and it doesn't fire. It's depressing. Thankfully, I don't have that on live as much. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there, guys, because it is very late where I am. It's gone midnight. I will probably do another one in the week as well, and I'll do a video for this and also the zoo build that I've been working on, which is like really silly. If you get any questions about builds and stuff generally, then comment down below or join the Discord. There's been posts and stuff throughout the stream. And as always, if you like what I do here, then likes, comments, usual stuff helps, and subscribe if you haven't done so. But I'm going to say a massive thanks for the support. I'll catch you in the next stream or video. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care and bye.